Este día para mí es el más importante de mi vida. Y se lo quiero compartir porque no es lo mismo vivir una vida de éxito que una vida con propósito. Por mucho tiempo yo intenté llenar un vacío en mi vida que nadie pudo llenar. Trataba de rellenar y buscar un sentido a mi vida. En ocasiones aparentaba estar bien feliz, pero faltaba algo para hacerme completo. Y les tengo que confesar que ya esas días terminaron. Alguien pudo llenar ese vacío que sentía por mucho tiempo. Me pude dar cuenta que para todos era alguien, pero yo no era nada sin él. Pude recorrer el mundo durante años, ganar muchos premios, aplausos y elogios, pero me di cuenta de algo que dice la Biblia. ¿De qué le vale al hombre ganar el mundo entero si pierde su alma? Por eso esta noche reconozco y no me avergüenzo en decirle al mundo entero que Jesús vive en mí. Y que yo viviré para él. La Biblia dice: todo aquel que lo reconozca en público aquí en la tierra también lo reconocerá delante de mi Padre. Muchas gracias. Ahora, el que me conoce por Daddy Yankee, que diga es Daddy Yankee en Cristo, Raymond allá de Puerto Rico. Se acabó una historia y va a comenzar una nueva historia, un nuevo comienzo. Que tenga en mi poder, como la música, las redes sociales, las plataformas, un micrófono, todo lo que Jesús me entregó es ahora para el reino. Muchas gracias, Puerto Rico, y espero que ustedes caminen conmigo en este nuevo comienzo. No sigan a ningún hombre, yo soy un humano. A todas las personas que me siguieron, sigan a Jesucristo, que Él es el camino, la verdad y la vida. Muchas gracias. Dios los bendiga.
Wow.
Man, that's big, man.
That was a strong. So, you know what? This is big for us because honestly, this is kind of why we got started.
Yeah.
When we started J-Dot, if you don't know, J-Dot's the parent company. We started 2005, and then Trackstarz came out of that 2006. Since the very beginning, this is what we envisioned would start happening. This is part of our, if you actually see our company's mission statement and vision statement, this is the kind of stuff we were praying to see. That people that had influence, that, you know, like the rich man, when the rich man came up to Jesus, he's like, give up all your stuff. We were praying for those rich men that were in the entertainment industry to say, you know what, I choose Jesus 100%. And when I see this, man, it just kind of warms my heart, man, because it's like, it's possible.
Yeah.
It's possible that God could reach somebody with all of that and have him make this kind of a strong statement in front of so many people.
Yeah.
So I'm praying for him, man. I pray, you know, it gets harder from here, you know.
Oh, yeah.
It gets harder from here.
It's not no game after, like, you make a public statement like that, and what you leaving behind, like, you basically telling the devil, like, yo, your world wasn't good for me, so I'm leaving and I'm out. And you know what I mean? Of course, the attacks, I've always seen people saying once you dip off, the attacks start happening and stuff. But it's just a test, just to test your faith. And you know what I mean? I pray. I remember, like I said, when I heard that news, man, I started praying, like, yo, God, keep them, bring the right Christians around them, bring the right people around them, because that's so critical. And to me, one thing that was so beautiful about it was that he was like, I'm leaving everything.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to preach about Jesus.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it was basically, I was empty, and he filled me, and I want to tell people about that. And that's
awesome, man.
And to me, that's the dope part. He wasn't like, I'm about to drop my Christian album, and he may, you know what I'm saying? He may, but his focus is
just
Jesus.
giving it all away.
Yeah.
Even if he never gets any of it back. That's big, man. That's really big. Everything he said just sounded right. And I wonder if he has somebody like walking him through it.
Yeah.
Because one of the things that makes it hard is some of the Christians you meet are worse than the people you love.
Yeah, that's real.
And if you don't find the right ones, oh my gosh, it could be hell. Seriously.
That's why I'm like, I ain't know we doing that this year. We doing, it could be that. Okay, sure.
It could be hell. That's what it is.
Yeah, it could be. No, I'm just saying we never said that. But I think at the end of the day, that's my prayer. That's my biggest prayer for him, is like that he find good people to help him be discipled. You know what I mean? Because I pray that he don't get around people that just use him for who he is, or his talent or
That's
anything like
yeah.
that. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, man, you know you could do Christian reggaeton. It's like, yeah, I can, but at this time, I'm really focusing on spreading the gospel. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think you said it too. I mean, the hardest thing is even well-meaning Christians.
Yeah.
They're like, oh man, if I could get close to Daddy Yankee,
Yeah.
then I could get my joint off. And,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? It's hard, man. It's celebrity is such a weird thing to navigate, and to do it as a Christian.
Yeah.
That's why we're here, is to help people like Daddy
Yeah.
Yankee figure, like, how do you figure? That's kind of
Yeah.
what we want to talk about. Like, how do you do this?
Yeah.
And we got a celebrity right here with us, so I was going to ask him, like, how do you manage it, bro?
Hey man, keeping the right people around, like I just said. Not like just people who, looking for opportunity or just yes man, but people who gonna tell me like, nah, bro, whatever season you in, we in together. Like, if we praying, we just praying right now. We ain't doing no music. We ain't doing no music. So that type of grounding would just help. Cause like when you in a position like this, you leading so many. So then when you got a lot of opportunities around, it just start to get blurry and confused, and you don't know who really for you and who not. So then that'll cause you to like step back. Now it's like kind of like church hurt a little bit, because like dang, my people around me like you don't know if it's love or not.
Yeah.
So like what y'all saying real, like having the right people, like.
But how do you navigate being like, you're an opportunity? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
there's a sign over your head that says, man, if I get to know him, there's an opportunity attached to it.
Yeah.
How does that affect you, knowing there's artists that are probably floating around you because they see what you've been able to accomplish?
Yeah.
And they want, like, they don't mean to be that way, but it's like, that's just how it is. It's like, I want what you got, you know?
Yeah.
How do you see, how does your discernment trigger you? What does it look like from your point of view when that stuff happens?
You start sending in like the conversations and stuff, because I'm a person that's always gonna talk about life. Like, we're gonna talk about like what's going on in life. Yeah, the music cool. Yeah, you working on the album, working on a song, but what's going on in life? How your spirit is, like how your mama doing, how your pops doing. So them type of conversation. If the conversation like it's like kind of like they not trying to go deep in it, then I kind of know what kind of relationship this is. And you just kind of put it in that bubble that they need to be in. That's how I work.
Yeah,
So.
yeah.
I run into it a lot, though. I run into it a lot, especially in this space. And I know they don't mean harm. I just know what their vision is, and their vision just ain't aligning with my vision. So
Yeah, it's such a big heart check, man. I know I've had to check myself a couple times too, where it's like, you be near like Lecrae and be like, man, if he just would just do something for us, then if we could just do this, and your brain start going like, this is just a dude, like, you know what I mean, like he shouldn't be seen as an opportunity first, you know.
Yeah.
And so whenever you start feeling those feelings, it's just a big heart check, like, whoa, what is that? Why is that in there?
Yeah.
You know, like, flag that, go back to that when you pray next time, like, that ain't right.
Yeah, but I think at the same time, it's still, I think for people, it's still a business. Like, you're still, even as a Christian artist, it's still the Christian music business. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, for an artist, it's like, yo, if I get that record with Breeze, then I can get into some notches. You know what I'm saying? My Christian CHH card can punch a notch that can get me in another part of the building. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Versus it's like, yo, I'm grounding this out, and this is like, God, I'm about to quit. I'm tired of doing this. You know what I'm saying? So, and I think at the end of the day, I think what I've learned from the mainstream side of stuff is like, they start off with talent and then relationship. You know what I mean? And I think we're trying to do the opposite of relationship then talent. You know what I mean? And some people it may be the same way, but I think that's what I learned. Like, I was like, why is it like, like even back in the day, just thinking about like the Drakes, Cole, Kendricks and all like that, like just how they build their friendship based off, it could be behind the scenes stuff too, but just based off the music. You dig what I'm saying? Like, yo, that's my guy, he's a dope rapper, and then boom, stuff goes from there. You know what I mean? And I think sometimes for us, we've done the opposite. You know what I mean? Which is not bad, but then also it could be something that's frustrating for the artist in himself, because it's like, I thought it was just like, we just do music. You know what I mean? Like, and you asking me like, how my life, and I'm like, I don't know. I know you're a dope artist, but I don't really know him like that. But then that's on me to say, should I open up to him or should I continue to stay closed? You know what I'm saying? Because it's a good and bad situation, honestly.
Yeah. So for people like Daddy Yankee, what are some of the first things, you mentioned some of them, but what are some of the first things he's going to have to watch out for as he moves into the next phase of his life? You mentioned, of course, there's going to be Christians that are going to come and say, hey, we should do this, we should do that.
Yeah.
What else? What else are some of the things? Because there's probably other celebrities watching, like, oh, snap. God is calling me to do what he just did.
Yeah.
But they're afraid.
Yeah.
Walk them through it. How do you do it?
I think, personally, the number one thing is getting your word to me, because you're new to this. Now, here's the thing. I don't know Daddy Yankee like that. I don't know how long it took him to get to that.
Yeah.
Right. He could have been saved already. He could have been saved for a couple months, and you know what I mean, still doing his thing. So I don't know. I don't know what he to do, but I would say the Bible first. Like, get into the Bible and really read the Bible, get to know Jesus, get to know about your walk as a Christian and how to be a Christian, and you know, what God loves, what he hates, what, you know what I'm saying? Like, get to know him. And then once you get to know him, and then of course being in fellowship, being in a good church, that's the number one too. Get in your Bible, you know, obey the Lord, ask the Lord to continue to, like, you know what I'm saying, like, get in your heart, Holy Spirit reign. Right. But then also make sure you around fellowship that care about your spiritual soul more than your status. Yeah. You know what I mean?
I would say prepare your heart not to be disappointed by the wolves. Yeah. There's wolves in the church.
Yeah.
For sure.
And however many wolves exist, you're going to meet them first.
Yeah.
Because of your celebrity.
Yeah.
You're going to meet all of the wolves first, right?
Yeah.
Because they see, when they see red meat, they pounce. Like, and you're the reddest of meat right now. So seriously, like, so I think a lot of people, when they make this transition, they come around Christians in the Christian industry. Yeah. And then they're like, this is what it is? Yeah. These people are whack.
Yeah.
And the truth, yes, they are whack.
But they're flawed. We're flawed people, though.
No.
You know what I mean?
The people you're meeting are whack.
Okay,
they're fakers. People in the gospel industry, they're not Christians. They're pretending. So you just need to know that happens. Yeah. Second layer people, there's some well-meaning people you're going to meet that are just flawed, like you said. Yeah. They don't mean to be that way. It's just they see a celebrity. They're caught up in it. You got to get to the third layer. There's people who really love Jesus that you're going to meet eventually. Hopefully you already met. Yeah. That's what's going to make you say, oh, that's it. Yeah. That's the real faith right there. That's what called me out of this darkness into light, is their faith. Yeah. So you just have to make it through the wolves first. Yeah. Because I don't want people to get discouraged when they see that, because it's there. Yeah. They're there.
Yeah. And I think what people don't think is, like, they don't think that the world, the Christian side is worse than the world. But you got to understand, like I said, and the reason, even with the wolves, to me, the wolves started off flawless.
Facts.
You know what I mean? They're not flawless, but flawed. Yeah. And then instead of saying, you know what, I'm flawed, let me go back to the Father and get this thing right, they just kept going and continued, and that morphed into being a wolf. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But
wolves are flawed Christians with success.
Yeah.
Or they're non-Christians who can see the formula of how to succeed as a Christian that just study the playbook and did it.
Yeah. I just think he's in a good space, honestly, just to start where he's starting. And I pray, like I said, man, that he also sees that, you know, because if he wants to do music again, this is another question. If he wants to do music as Daddy Yankee or whatever, just know the word. Like, I think as much as you knew sin and you wrote about sin, know the Bible, know the word, get the word in you, know about God, know about, you know, if you want to share his word to people in musical form again. I don't know if maybe he want to go in pastoring, maybe he want to, you know, just do, like, you know, how to, so some celebrities who get saved, they just go on tour and they just tell their story, you know what I mean? They could be doing something like that too. But I think before you do music again, I think sometimes people, when they leave the secular world and they come and do here, they just do Christianese music where it sounds very Christianese and not, like, deep in the Bible or like, you know, authentic. So I feel like if I was him and I wanted to do music again, I would make sure I know my word. Or not saying you got to know it all, like, from Genesis to Revelation, but just let the word impact you, so when it impacts you, is overflow when you put out in your music.
It don't sound like you're just trying to talk about Jesus. The surface level of Jesus.
Yeah.
I feel that. I agree with you.
What do you think was going on with the crowd? What was making them cheer so loud for that? Because they're at a Daddy Yankee concert, and he's literally telling them, what I'm doing for you right now is darkness, and I'm about to go to light. Yeah. So what are they cheering for?
Because maybe some Christians, there was Christians in there. Okay. Maybe some people that would believe it, that believe what he was saying was true. You know what I mean?
So what's happening there then? Because if they are cheering that loud, then they know the truth.
Yeah.
So what are they
You
there
feel like
for?
I feel like some of them was cheering, and then I feel like some of them just was so excited.
Just whatever he said. They
Oh,
were
yeah,
cheering.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
why I do feel like some of them was.
Yeah.
I was just interested. The crowd was so interested in me because it's like if your natural reaction is to
Yeah.
say yes,
Yeah.
leave this darkness that we're in right
Yeah.
now and go to the light, then what you there for?
Because Daddy Yankee. But I think
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get it. But I think that's another topic too, where we have to talk about the churches, Christians in churches, on how they love darkness instead of light. Like that's one of been our biggest uphill. And Ryan used to say that all the
Yeah.
time. Is like the problem with our space is never like the world, because the world hear your stuff and be like, "Yo, that's kind of hard, bro. I dig what y'all doing."
Right.
But the church has always been the hardest to pin, especially people in the church that they don't rock. They don't think you should be doing this, but they still listening to mainstream hip hop.
Yeah, right.
And that's frustrating to me because I'm like, then why you still listening to mainstream? If you don't think Breeze should be doing what he doing, then why you still listening to, who else is out there? You know what I'm saying? Why you still listening to that other person? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think that's the thing. Going back to what you're saying is some people in there that probably were Christians. I'm not saying they're not, and I'm thinking from his background as being Latino, at times, the majority of times, Catholicism is their form of religion. So I'm saying he's talking about Jesus. So they're like, yes.
Or do they realize that he's saying while he's on stage that what he's done up until this point has been wrong?
Yeah, I mean,
Is that sinking in?
maybe some people, like I said, maybe it was some people there that maybe you don't know. It could have been some people in the crowd that was there from the church he's been going to, and he's saying, "Hey, y'all, tonight, I'm bringing these out, and loud or whatever." But then it could be some people that, like I said, are Catholic, and they're like,
Yeah.
"Thank you, come to Jesus."
So here's the thing. One of the best things I think he said, because he knows what celebrity, obviously he's aware that some of the people will just be following him just to follow him.
Yeah.
And he really pointed out that this is not about me. This is not about a person or a
Yeah.
celebrity. It's all about Jesus. To me, that was the best thing he said, because he's probably looking at faces that are like, the only reason you're here is because you're kind of worshiping me.
Yeah.
Stop doing that.
Yeah, man.
Worship Jesus
Yeah.
instead. That's a beautiful message.
Yeah, and I think another thing too is for other celebrities that want to come out. It's like, yo, y'all see the signs of the time. Y'all see what's going on.
Yeah.
Just take that bold step. And then I think the number one thing I think the perfect person who said something about this was like Jackie Hill when she was transitioning from a believer. I mean, from a sinner to a believer, and she was talking about, she was like, I don't want to be with a man. I don't want to because she was coming out of a lesbian lifestyle, and she was just saying God was like, just trust me.
Yeah.
Just trust me. Just trust me day by day, and trust me and watch me work.
Yeah.
And I think that's what people got to realize about, so especially celebrities, is like, just trust them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Is it gonna get hard? Of course, because you're leaving the devil's team to go to God's team.
Right.
So
It's
it's
definitely gonna be hard.
Yeah.
Like even every time everybody know when you making that transition, especially you coming from a world like the
Yeah.
worldly, just you was living that life. Then it's still gonna be people on that side that's like, man, you feel me? You can love God and still do this.
Yeah,
And it's like
yeah.
you're gonna have to deal with a lot of that. You're gonna have to deal with a lot of that.
We're going to talk about what you just said a little bit later when we talk about Nicki. All right, you in the field with the track stars, Ryan Wright, Shantana, DJ Jeremiah. Let's go. Hey, I know how hard it can be. I'm an artist as well. And whenever you release a song you think is dope, you're like, man, this is going to be the one. You have to go through the process of marketing. That's the hard part. That's when it really, really, really gets serious, right? Because even if you got a dope song and nobody knows about it, it's going to be a flop. So if you know the process, that means you got to go to each website, follow their submission rules, email them, do whatever they need you to do one at a time. These outlets do not like to be spammed. They do not like to be put on BCC lists, email spam lists. But never fear, we have come up with a way to solve this problem. We created something called the Single Maximizer. Single Maximizer allows you to fill in the details for your song one time, and we customize it for each outlet and send it out to all of them for you. Not in a mass email, not as spam, individual emails customized exactly what they asked for in their music submission guidelines. It's an amazing tool. We use it for ourselves and our own music, and we're trying to share it with you guys. So go to trackstarz.com/single maximizer. Take advantage of it right now. It's an amazing tool. Check it out. Let us know your success stories. Tell us what works. Trackstarz.com. Go check it out right now.